Hello everyone, especially section 001. This video is intended for you, although I welcome everyone else taking the course who'd like to watch this. I'm going to go over the lecture for lifestyle marketing that we missed for this particular section. So it might be a review for the rest of the students as well. I have the slides in front of me. You might want to follow the slides as you watch these videos. So let's jump in. Lifestyle marketing. Lifestyle marketing explains how people put themselves into different groups and associate with them based on the activities that they like to do. For example, you might want to be part of a rock climbing group or a group of bikers or other sports. Maybe you are an artist. Maybe you just enjoy some form of art like music and you party in, you enjoy EDM music. So people like to be associated with groups that do the activities they like to do. Secondly, people associate themselves with groups based on how they like to spend their time or how they like to spend their disposable income. Now, because associating with a group and identifying with that self-concept requires a few steps on the part of the person to take and best fits with that profile of the group they're trying to associate to. So there are a number of products and services that I as a person need to acquire to be able to showcase or embody that lifestyle. And because these products usually come as elements of one collective, as pieces of one puzzle that builds and shows that lifestyle. So these products work together. I give you a simple example. If I'm going to a nice gala event, I need to wear a suit, maybe a tuxedo, and unless I'm some $1 million, billion-dollar celebrity, I probably stay away from sneakers or shoes that don't go with the tuxedo. The point I'm trying to get at is that a gala requires a number of products to come together to build that image that you'd like to project during the event. And these products come together and build something, a phenomena in marketing called consumption constellation. So it's a group of products that represent or build that lifestyle. And those products that, the products that go into one constellation of consumption, they tend to be either complementary to one another or substitute. So complementary pairs of products like cookie and milk, coffee and sugar. You can fill in the blanks with the pairs that you know of the products that go together. Or they could be substitutes. So either you go for red wine or white wine or coffee or juice, and these are not complementary products in the sense that they're not consumed together as much as they are consumed in lieu of one another. Now, companies use the knowledge of what products go together to build the first building block of lifestyle marketing. So I'm talking about a popular strategy in marketing, which is co-branding, where two different companies that build products that are not, similar products, but they go together in a consumption constellation. They tend to co-brand together, so they want to use the positive associations They want to borrow positive associations from one another. An example of that would be the co-branding of Apple and Nike. For well, now Nike produces athletic gear. Apple produces tech devices, but with wearable devices and the new features on the iPhones, you can follow up with your activities, exercise, health signals, and these two products, for example, Nike shoes, those that have one small chip in the sole of the product, and wearable devices coming from Apple, they can easily go together, right? So that explains why co-branding works, and that is the building block of lifestyle marketing. Now, in order to have a sound lifestyle marketing strategy, you need to know the customers beyond what they look like. Remember, when we judge customers, well, not judge per se, but when we segment customers based on what we see on the appearance, I'm talking about demographics, their age, their gender, their race, ethnicity, level of income, occupation. These are the things that I can read from the appearance of someone. This is demographics. It's not too bad, but if you want to throw darts, you probably want to analyze your dart throwing based on a better, more accurate measure of where the target is. I'm using this analogy for consumer, understanding needs of a consumer. So psychographics is an approach to segmentation that helps us build a lifestyle marketing strategy. And psychographics tries to understand consumers on three topics. Number one, the activities. What activities in a given day, in a given week, month, does this consumer or this group of consumer dabble into? Activities, A. Second topic is I, interests. So what are the interests of a consumer? And the third one is O, opinions. So if you know about what activities I engage with, what interests I have, and what opinions I hold, then you can build a very interesting and very useful profile. And if you collect this data on a large number of customers, then you can potentially segment the customers based on activities, opinions, and interests. And so basically, lifestyle marketing takes place in this intersection when we bring in product elements, what we know of the person, A, I, O, and then in what setting the consumption is taking place. Imagine a Venn diagram, 3 blobs, the product, the person, the setting, and they come together, and in that central overlapping area, lifestyle takes place. To start lifestyle marketing, you might want to start with building the profile of your customer. One customer, one ideal customer, and also building the profile of the collective of your customers, also known as the segment. So if you are trying to target and attack 3 different segments, what is the profile for each segment? You can build profile on products as well. And sometimes lifestyle marketing means trying to overlap the lifestyle profile with product profile and overlap them together. And on that overlap, ideas will come out for our marketing communication, for our new advertisements, for our new campaigns. Now, if you go on the slides, I actually have left you with one example of Molson beer. It's a popular beer in Canada. And on that slide, I discuss how a market research project reveals three important pointers, three important understandings about the target segment of Molson beer. And those 3 points come from activities, opinions, and interests, also known as the psychographics. And based on that psychographics data, marketing people at Molson Beer came up with an ideal customer profile. It's an imaginary, hypothetical person that embodies everything we know about the activities, opinions, and interests of our target segment. And usually we give it a name so that we can use this character in our marketing communication later. So these people came up with the idea of Fred and Boys, and came up with some stories that Fred and Boys, when they get together, what are the things they engage in. And based on that, they built some ads. And I have put an example of one of those ads in the slide. You can click on it and go watch it, or simply go online and say Fred and Boys Molson Beer, and you will find a number of ads they've created based on this. That's a good example that introduces you to the idea of how psychographics ends up in lifestyle marketing strategies. And last, I would like to talk a little bit about how lifestyle marketing depends on motivations that people have to consume products, rather than what they look like, who they associate with, demographics, if you will. So it goes deeper into how we make decisions in our heads. And so the motivation that I exhibit for some activity or to use some product, where does it come from? It comes from my personal values. And these values could be individual values, could be social values, could be cultural values. And we have discussed before how motivations for the same product could be different. I give you another example. If two customers are going for vegetarian food options, they're both showing a similar behavior. However, are their motivations the same? Now, one of those people might refrain from eating meat because of animal activism. They care about animal rights. And another person might be motivated because of health reasons. So we can see that if we want to really target these two people, we need to send them different messages, although we're sending message for the same behavior. And this brings me to 4 ways of discussing some consumers or segments value system. We have Rokesh Value Survey, which probably was the first person who could clearly explain we have 2 types of values: terminal values and instrumental values. Now, instrumental values, like being ambitious, it is a value, but you hold that value because it helps you gain something else that is valuable to you per se. So if you are ambitious, you will achieve the accomplishments that you want. You'll be successful. Hopefully you'll be fulfilled. And perhaps being fulfilled in life, being happy in life, is a terminal value. But being ambitious is an instrumental value in order to achieve a terminal value here, being happy or being fulfilled. List of values scale is a scale made up of 9 consumer segments based on the values that each segment endorses. You can go back to your textbook and look at these 9 segments. So one way to actually categorize and make sense of our target segment, is to survey their values and try to put them in these 9 buckets, if you will. The third model that I would like to discuss with you is means end chain model, which basically explains how every instrumental value could be terminal value of its own and then instrumental to another value, and every terminal value could be terminal on its own, and then if you look at the bigger picture you can find that value is also instrumental to some more terminal value. And then if we keep on going through if we keep going through this chain, instrumental terminal, we'll find out at the very end of the day it is the mental states that will be the bottom line. So what is the very terminal value for customers when it comes to different products, different activities? If you keep asking this question, you will end up with some sort of a mental state, a feeling, an emotion. And that's what people usually buy through products and services. Not the products and services per se, but we are buying feelings that we get out of consuming those products, or out of just owning them, and that ownership gives us certain emotions. And the last model, the last tool to derive people's values is to refer to the syndicated surveys that you can go online and buy. There are market research companies that build these reports based on international, well-designed surveys. So they are surveying people's attitudes, opinions, and they're building these reports and selling them to different companies. Syndicated surveys help you stay on top of important cultural trends and help you shape your message that you want to craft for your clients. And let me finish off by giving you an example of an ideal customer profile. So in the slides, I introduced the typical consumer profile of for Lululemon brand, a lady called Ocean. And there's just one paragraph that really explains her, but that is enough for marketers to build this persona and showcase it in their ads. Her name is Ocean. Ocean is a 32-year-old professional single woman who makes $100,000 a year. She's engaged. She has her own condo. She travels. She's fashionable. She has an hour and a half every day to work out and take care of her own body. So if that kind of lifestyle makes sense to you, or that is something that you have or you aspire to have, you probably see it fit to buy products from this brand because they signify that lifestyle. Those products help you embody that lifestyle day in, day out. And as soon as the company wanted to expand into male market, guess what? They came up with a customer profile, ideal customer profile for male products. They call him Duke. If you go back to the slides, you will find the paragraph that describes Duke. I think these are the discussions that we didn't get to have in the class together, and I wanted to make this video and make sure that this particular section of our class is up to speed, similar to the other sections, and I'm hoping that this is useful for you. If you have any questions, please just come by after the class or in the office hours and ask your questions. We'll have a nice discussion and I'll try to answer your questions. All right. By the way, it looks like we're gonna have more snow tonight, so brace for impact. Have a great night, everyone, and see you in the class.